Hello everyone, it is I, J5, the Hyperforce, the creator of Hyperforce All-Stars. For some reason the commentary track for episode 5, it just didn't start recording my voice until I actually started playing the episode. And then once the episode ends, the audio kept on going. I've just put the episode 5 commentary track into my editing software, and it starts as soon as the episode starts. So the whole intro's cut out, but the rest of the video afterwards is fine. There's like no video, but the audio's still there. Weird. I don't remember what I said for the intro, so... Hyperforce All-Stars, episode 5, Rise of the Doom Ship. Why is it my favourite episode? Hopefully the commentary track explains. So yeah, let's actually get to what was left of the commentary track. Hyperforce All-Stars, so let's start the episode. From the bloody intro you can tell something's different. And from this sponsor screen you can tell that the characters now have necks! Also, female anatomy is better. Thanks a lot, Wall! The scene kind of encompasses what Hyperforce All-Stars kind of is. It's just... it's an atrocity! I play Pokemon Go every day. Of course you do, mate. Pokemon Go is fucking dead. It was dead when this episode came out. But there it is, Marik's Doom Ship. I'm not good at designing complicated things. That's what the original Doom Ship was, though. It was a very complicated mess. If you've seen the Doom Ship from Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3, you would know what it looks like, and I tried to make it look like that, but it didn't work. I also based it off the Marik's Doom Ship level from Super Mario Maker that I made. The code for that will be in the description if you want to play it. But, yes, modern Hyperforce All-Stars went through a art style change. Well, somewhat art style change. Crump scratching his ass in the back. Yeah, background animations definitely did improve in this series. Animation in general is just better now in the modern Hyperforce All-Stars. Characters are way more expressive, especially Marik and J-Star. You know, if a character's meant to be mellow, they don't move as much, but if they are meant to be, like, sporadic and on their feet, like Marik and J-Star, they tend to move, like, every single fucking sentence. But, yeah, you can tell that the art is different, because not only are the characters way more accurate to their original designs, but they also now have necks. Except for Crump, but Crump never did have a fucking neck. Marik is definitely more expressive. Like, J-Star and Marik are definitely way more expressive in the modern Hyperforce All-Stars episodes, which start with episode 5. This episode is just a joy to watch, because this episode, despite the fact that J-Star, I think there's more J-Star scenes than Marik scenes, this episode is definitely a Marik episode. Like, Marik is just the best character now. Like, Marik was pretty funny before, but I think it's this episode and a couple of other Hyperforce All-Stars related stuff, like the story series and the other episodes of Animatic, that just really make Marik one of my favourite characters. In fact, Marik is my favourite character in the series. Sorry, J-Star, but, you know, Marik gives me the freedom to say whatever the hell I want because he's a villain. He can say pretty much anything, and it's funny. Marik is so expressive in the series now, and it's amazing. Also, the new intro, that is permanent. You know, this is the intro until episode, like, 8. In fact, the teaser at the end of episode 8 uses this intro for a 5th time. I do like this approach to the whole art style thing, because the whole intro for Hyperforce All-Stars there was inspired by Sonic Mania, with the way that it had a very animated Sonic when he jumped into the what do you call it? The emblem logo? Or whatever it is, the title screen sort of ring with wings thing? Whatever you call that. It's like the tiny ones are called emblems, so are the massive one emblems? But yeah, a very animated version of that. And also the sort of episode selection thing was kind of like the level select thing from the E3 demos of, well, not E3, maybe E3. Well, from the demos for Sonic Mania. So, also this series introduces more than one character introducing at the same time, bloody interacting at the same time. I mean, episode 7 was not episode 7. Well, yeah, episode 7, but episode 4 was kind of like that as well, where multiple characters were interacting, but, you know. The older version of Hyperforce All-Stars was definitely more one-on-one character interactions. Here, though, there's like 5 characters in one scene. There's J-Star, there's pretty much all of the Hyperforce All-Stars, except for Tristan, and then there's Marek. If you've watched the last commentary episode, you will know that J-Star's group of friends are actually called the Hyperforce All-Stars, so, yeah. I was referring to that. Also, flashback sequences to when J-Star was being called a bitch. J-Star is sucking his bitch, alright? You know, this sort of a running joke. Is it in... Is this the last episode it shows up in? I think it may be. I'm trying to remember to like 6, 7, and 8, but I think this is the last episode where J-Star being called Sakura's bitch is a thing. Also, this is the episode that debuts the J-Star J5 split. For those who don't know, J-Star got renamed to J-Star because, well, it's a bit complicated when you say J5 because, oh, are you referring to me, the actual real-life person? Or are you referring to the character that shows up in Hyperforce All-Stars? Because it's kind of weird to say J5 ran into the girls' bathroom when we're referring to J-Star and not J5. So I split the names. So the J5 J-Star split is made for better context. Also, J-Star's knees here. The mask that blends his legs. Real, like, this bloody scene. I don't know what the fuck happened. I think it's because of the way that J-Star's running animation works. I think it glitched up his mask on his knees, but like every time I re-rendered this scene, J-Star's legs would like the mask on his knees would sporadically do this shit. So you can, there's a bit of a behind the scenes there where you can see how the models are constructed. There is an upper leg and a lower leg limb, so you saw the J-Star's like knee, like the legs blend together because of masking properties of the model, but then the masking thing on his knees was bugging out every time I rendered the scene, so I eventually just gave up. Also, this scene is meant to be inspired by Star Fox. I should have made the borders more Star Fox-like. And I don't know why I didn't alter that in episode 7, but oh well. Modern Hyperforce All-Stars also introduces a bit more meatier plots, like I said in episode 4's commentary, which I like this better. Hyperforce All-Stars, from this episode onwards, has kind of turned into a Saturday morning cartoon for adults and teenagers. And I kind of like that. I really do like it. Because I am a pretty silly person, so making a pretty silly series like Hyperforce All-Stars is definitely my cup of tea. Also, as you can see with Marek's mouth, I tried to do better lip syncing in this series, but there's just points where I'm just like, I can't be fucking bothered. Because lip syncing is one of the most tedious processes of making one of these episodes, and I hate it. I'm gonna do it for Armatalum Showdown, but I'm not gonna promise. I'm actually gonna do it for Armatalum Showdown. I'm gonna try. But yeah, this is actually one of the first scenes that were made. I don't animate scenes in order. Like, if I can animate a scene, I will. So if it's out of order, it will be out of order. But then they're edited in order in the master edit. But yeah, some scenes are edited out of order, and this is one of the earliest scenes, as you can probably tell, because the lip syncing is better than it is in the rest of the episode. You know, the way that the mouths just flap. It's much more accurate to the sound waves, I guess you could say, in this episode. Well, in this scene. And this episode in general has better lip syncing than the rest of the series, but You know, I tried. I really can't be bothered. I make this series for fun, so I eventually just dropped the more accurate lip syncing, and I just had it back to the old style where the mouths just open depending on if they're speaking or not. But you know, shit happens, doesn't it? Like this next scene, I think it's it's going to the advert. I don't remember what made me think of doing this advert, but I did. As you can, like, J-Star's mouth is just open. You can tell that this is the point in production where I'm just like, I can't be fucking bothered with the lip syncing. Also, J-Star's model has the impact blitzer on him permanently. That's something that I wanted to do for all the Armatalum characters. They would have their gear on them permanently, somewhere on their model. And that is something that's going to carry over into our Armatalum Showdown, because all of the character models that are made for that series, like, they do have their Armate gears on them somewhere, either on their hip or, in Kane's sake, on his arm. Yeah, J-Stars is tilted at a weird angle, so then he can put his arm into the gear, because it's kind of an arm cannon instead of an arm gun. Also, that whole thing with Annie just spazzing around me, shouting Yuki, that's actually an inside joke. She does that to me in real life. Also, that's one of my favourite moments of the episode, just the explosion, Melody flying super fast, and Jared's just there like, That is one of my favourite parts of this episode. This episode is just my favourite, because it just sort of, it's the start of Hyperforce All-Stars actually becoming something I could actually say I'm proud of. I look back at the previous episodes, and I'm just like, yeah, I like them, but episode 5, 6, 7, and 8, I can sit here and say I am proud of the production and everything in this episode, except for this scene. For those who've seen the Hyperforce All-Stars behind the scenes video that I sort of made for the Christmas special, I basically talked about cut things from Hyperforce All-Stars, and I talked about other things about Hyperforce All-Stars. This scene is the most infamous in the entire series because, well, I'm still living to regret it to this day, because there's one person I know who keeps on referencing the fact that I get sort of touched in a crate. Oh, but he never mentions Haruhi. No, he never mentions that it's Haruhi that does anything. He just mentions that it's the crate. When the crate does fuck all but exist. But yeah, this is definitely one of the more riskier scenes in the series. I don't know why I did it like this. I just did. Haruhi's feeling up J-Stars. You know what? But yeah. Since this is the start of the J5 J-Star split, I didn't kind of feel guilty for doing this because J-Star's kind of his own thing. Separate from me now. But he is based off me because narcissism. I can't concentrate on a series that doesn't have me in it. That's an issue. Have you wondered where Alex/Azura Starlight has gone? Yeah, I tried to make him less like me and I kind of just got less interested. Also, you can see Blanc's hand at the side there because she's in her T-pose. But then once the camera cuts to her, she snaps into the position that she has to be in where she's encapsulated. See, right there.
You know you're keeping the best cards.
For some reason, I didn't notice that Blanc's hand was on screen T-posing until the episode came out. How did I not notice? Anyways. As I was saying, like, episode 5 is definitely the start of Hyperforce All-Stars actually becoming something I can be proud of, so this episode is definitely, like, I love this episode. It just sort of encapsulates what I want from modern Hyperforce All-Stars. J-Star and Marek doing their duties as hero and villain, the characters having absolutely insane and funny dialogue, the plot scenarios being simple, but having, you know, basically a good scenario for comedy. You know, Marek has his doom. Marek tries to take over Bidandera with giant Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but there's a bit more to the plot than that, so you watch the episode to find out more. And the character interactions are definitely much more better. This is when my scripting was definitely, like, my story writing was definitely getting a lot better. My scripts and everything are just way better now. The characters look better. The backgrounds look better. Everything's just better. And this is the start of it. And this is like my favorite episode. Every episode after this. I want to say that Darkwing is like my second favorite episode, but like this is my favorite. Marek Ishtar! This is also this does start off the running joke of J-Star shouting Marek Ishtar and Mark's just like J-Star the Hyper Frig, because modern Marek doesn't say fuck anymore, he says frig, because anytime he swore in a bridge it would be scented with the frig or whatever that noise was. So also Nerine with her PK Thunder, also J-Star with the Vulcan jab. Yeah, this also debuts more of the move sets for each character. Marek has his indestructible one-way shield. J-Star has his Vulcan jab and rising break. Nerine uses her bloody PK powers more often. Sakura is still written badly. I can't write Sakura, even though I made her personality. I can't write her that well. Harry, he has his sass. Nerine is a bit more. I just can't. I like this episode. All right, guys.
Of an airship.
Like I struggle with these commentaries because you just watch the episode and you get it. The episodes are pretty simple.
You're gonna crash, Marek.
Also, the delivery on that line was kind of shit.
Well, your doom ship was
Tiff, the voice actress for Blanc, she sort of said that in a different sort of context. It's meant to be that Blanc is retorting to Marek like, you're gonna crash, Marek, but she ended up saying it like it was a legit sentence, so whatever. Oh well. I kind of got lazy, and I didn't want her to redo her lines, so... Woo! Feeling good!
How do you even work this power up?
Spin your tail as much as you can.
Thank me, I can fly. Yeah, that's something that isn't explained in Hyperforce All-Stars. Harry, he knows that she's a god. She knows about her powers, so she ends up just manipulating. She just flies. Yeah! I'm surprised I didn't actually have a moment in like any of the episodes where Harry... Actually, I think episode 1 implies... Actually, yeah, I think episode 1 kind of implies that Harry, he knows that she's a god. I mean, obviously she knows because she's flying, but still. I don't think there's like an accurate... I don't think there's at any point in Hyperforce All-Stars, no matter which version of it you look at, I don't think there's any point in Hyperforce All-Stars where Harry, he just goes, oh my god, I am a god. You know, her realization. She doesn't have a realization, she just sort of knows. Also, everybody clinging onto the Koopa car. The F-Star Clown car! Look at its face! It has to carry so much weight. Also, Bakura's pose. Of course, Bakura's sort of gonna be cool and stylish. Also, this scene with everybody laughing is sort of a mimic to, like, the Kirby series, because they tend to end off a couple of episodes with just them laughing afterwards. Oh, well. J-Star's little harem here. J-Star's little bloody harem. Also, this background is actually a modernization of a previous background that used 2014 or 2013 models that were absolutely atrocious. But yeah, all the characters are here. You got a Fubi and a blue tip bird and a Miku who later gets replaced with Nerine. Because that's the thing with Nerine. She was meant to be a cameo appearance, but then she ended, thanks to episode 1, she just ended up becoming a main staple character. I kind of like it like that because Miku technically has no personality, so Nerine's more ladylike, shy, established personality is definitely more of a, you know, it's better for a main cast thing. Like, oh, J-Star with an equal sign. I wanted J-Star's name to be like that because it would sort of be a parallel to how Beedamon were named back in Beedamon, like Crossfight Beedamon. But then I dropped it and replaced it with a bloody dash. Simply because it made the name sort of a bit shorter. A little bit less complicated to read. So, yeah, simplicity's sake, I changed the equals to a dash. The blue tip bird? Was he in this episode? Yes, he was in this episode. He had a little bit of a cameo appearance along with Donkey Kong. That's the thing that I like about this episode as well. It just turns the insanity up to like 11 and it's great. Well, the bloody inhalement device is like a gigantic Kirby on a stick. And it inhales all of the Super Mario power-ups that Blanc was growing in a garden, and it's just like, it inhales the blue tip bird, and then Donkey Kong just smashes into it, but since he's too big, he bounces off it. It's like, this series, I guess you could say the production value went up, and I can say that I am proud of this episode. I love it. America's Doom Ship. This series has pretty much turned into a Saturday morning cartoon, but for teenagers and adults. And you know what? I wouldn't mind turning this into a proper series, but, you know, it uses copyrighted characters, so I don't want to get sued. I mean, our Mattelum Showdown is a thing for a reason. Although our Mattelum Showdown isn't going to be as insane as Hyperforce All-Stars, but it's not going to be, like, serious, super serious as well, like most shonen animes tend to get. Like Hyperforce All-Stars. The sort of attitude around it where it's, like, all excitable and happy-go-lucky. Like, I'm keeping that for our Mattelum. But, you know, if our Mattelum needs to get serious, it will get serious. Hyperforce All-Stars does get serious at points, but that's in the story series where there's, well, it's focused more on story. You know, Animatic is basically just, what's the conflict we can have? Let's write as many humorous shit as we can around it. Burps. Also, now we've got the teasers. Yeah, every episode ends in a teaser for the next one. I wanted to make the Uno episode, so I threw this little shit at the end. So, Hyperforce All-Stars, episode 6. Oh boy. The Uno episode. That will be next. But is there anything else I got to say about episode 5? I just thought, like, the backgrounds are definitely made with a bit more care and, you know, definitely got a lot more effort put into it. But that's pretty much what episode 5 sort of encompasses. A lot more effort went into the series, despite the fact that it was like, oh, I'm making this for fun. I put a lot more effort into it because I didn't want it to be kind of second-rate anymore. You know, people, like, this was the point in the series where people started to you know, liking Hyperforce All-Stars. I was actually gaining fans of Hyperforce All-Stars that weren't just my friends. So I wanted to put a lot more effort into it. And you know what? Episode 5, 6, 7, and 8 are so much better than 1, 2, 3, and 4. Like, 1, 2, 3, and 4, like, that's old Hyperforce All-Stars. 5, 6, 7, and 8 are modern Hyperforce All-Stars. And unlike modern Sonic, modern Hyperforce All-Stars is definitely a lot better than its classic incarnation. Well, I prefer modern Sonic over classic Sonic, but I don't know. I'm kind of a... And the thing is, my first proper Sonic game was Sonic Advance, which was like modern art style, but classic gameplay. Before anybody starts tearing down my bloody house because I said modern's better than classic, I meant as in personality. Although classic Sonic in Mania is definitely adorable and attitude-filled. I like that classic Sonic. You know, the sort of Toei Sonic sort of style. Well, I like both. I just kind of prefer modern because I'm a bit more modern Sonic myself. If I want to get serious, I like Boom Sonic better than most because I am just pretty much Boom Sonic at this rate. But yeah, Hyperforce All-Stars episode 5. It's definitely this series. This is when things was definitely becoming more better. This is a series I could call my own at this rate. But thank you for watching the episode 5 commentary track. Remember, this was my favourite episode. That doesn't mean that the rest of the episodes after this are, like, worse. This is my personal favourite because of what it is, really. It is the start of modern Hyperforce All-Stars. When this episode came out, it was like, yes, this is what I want it to be. This is what Hyperforce All-Stars is. A Saturday morning cartoon show for teenagers and adults. Like, this episode just encapsulates Hyperforce All-Stars perfectly. And I love it. It is the best. The only thing it doesn't encapsulate is the romance. But yeah, again, I can't write romance. I mean, J-Star's little harem is mentioned. Why did I write a harem? Because all animes have a harem. Yeah, again, J-Star is, in Hyperforce All-Stars, is the parody of a typical harem protagonist. Well, not typical. Shonen, light novel, harem protagonist. He's sort of all of them in one. Along with Sonic. Bit myself. Just make him, like, the straight man and a wacky person at the same time. J-Star's a bit of a mess, and I like it. Yeah, again, that's this series. It's a bit of a mess, but I like it. But thank you for watching the episode 5 commentary. Next up, we're going to be... I was going to say we're going to get dangerous, but... that would be a better transition for the Darkwing episode. But next episode, we're going to be running like hell because we have to avoid the Yuki insane Yuno. So yeah. Got a jet, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you on the flip side.